Hi, welcome back to part 3. Thank you for watching these videos on breathing, and if you found it helpful, please like it, please share it, and please also send me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about breathing, message me and we can arrange a one-to-one lesson to go into a little bit more depth. But I'm here to help. I hope somewhere along the lines of these videos that there be something that you can take away and which will help in some ways. Now, the next part of breathing is that I would play a nice easy scale, such as an F major scale. And what I tend to do is ask you to before breathing, this time we're not going to breathe out and in and then play. I'm going to ask you to try playing a scale by simply playing breathing out and then playing that scale and see how far you can get up that scale. With no air, and you'd be surprised. Actually, it may feel a little bit uncomfortable. If you're using the correct muscles, you will feel it. That's a good thing. Again, if you're feeling faint, if you're feeling shooting pains, stop immediately. Okay, that's not normal, but a little bit of discomfort is absolutely fine. The brain is a bit like a car, and the car, when you fill up with petrol and it will go down to zero, that car still, although the warning light's on saying there's no more petrol, there will still be, the manufacturer will still give a good 25 to 50 miles still left in that tank to get you to that petrol station. And the brain is a bit like that as well. The way that our bodies are hardwired is that our warning light will actually say we've run out of air quite a bit before we actually have. But that feeling of running out of air is just the warning light. Actually, we can actually train ourselves a little bit more to utilize that extra few percent. In some cases, it's between about 20 and 30% more air that we have in our lungs than when our brain says, "Oh, I'm running out of air." Actually, we've got a little bit more we can train ourselves. So by doing a scale or trying to play a passage, we'll literally breathe out and then play that passage. You will find that you can train yourself just to get a little bit more air out, a little bit more. You should last a few seconds. In some cases, you might be able to get all the way up a 2-octave scale and right down again. You'll find that possibly more likely on an instrument like an oboe rather than a clarinet. But then once you get that feeling of really pushing from your diaphragm, then try doing the normal breathing. Breathe out, breathe in, and then play. But then once you play, push in the same way that it felt like that when you had zero air. That energy that you had when you were really pushing back, squeezing those lungs, getting everything out, pushing that same way, and suddenly you will find that your sound and your projection suddenly improves. Remember to think R in your throat. There's a danger that when we first start an instrument, we kind of compensate a little bit by narrowing our throat. And when a teacher says, for example, just think R, open your throat. And as soon as we open our throat, the sound goes, and it will actually find it difficult. The key is that extra energy. So as you are able to push quite a bit harder from your diaphragm, like you had no air, that's the point where open your throat, think R. You can actually feel it. If you put your hand just here and say, you want to try this? Say E, and then say R, E, R. You feel the E's high and the R's low. So concentrate on that R, that drop-in feeling as you push it, and your sound will improve. And you'll find it, certain problems, certain even notes that you've previously found have been difficult to produce suddenly become easier. So it's all connected. If you push or you breathe in the right way with the right support, it fixes most problems with an instrument. It fixes most problems with reed. Sometimes the reed issues are no longer going to be quite as bad because we're pushing, we're having that pressure behind the reed that it fixes most issues. Try that. I'm going to end that video, this video now, but please like it, please share it if you found it useful. Send me a message and I will welcome you for part 4.